What's up, guys? Christopher Walker back again. I want to talk today about a really cool ingredient, cool compound. Everyone knows about this compound. I mean, it's extremely popular and for good reason. There are actually over 10,000 peer-reviewed articles that have been published that are discussing this one ingredient and the benefits of this one ingredient, and that's called turmeric. So turmeric is, in my opinion, one of nature's best healing compounds. It acts actually really similar to cannabis, but in terms of like controlling inflammation and that sort of thing. But turmeric, is naturally grown in India and Southeast Asia. It's basically the root of this plant, the curcuma longa plant. So that's why you might hear the kind of the interchange between the words curcumin and turmeric. People basically use them to mean essentially the same thing, but the active substance in turmeric is curcumin. So you might see it on a label on a supplement or something as turmeric, or you might see it as curcumin. But what you know is they're essentially talking about the same thing. If they say curcumin, that's the active ingredient in turmeric. So let's talk about some of these benefits. Since there have been so many studies done, there are actually some really incredible things about turmeric. And one study that I saw was super cool, where they went head to head with turmeric versus the leading over-the-counter pain medications, like aspirin, Motrin, that sort of stuff, ibuprofen. And turmeric beat them in pain management, which is pretty awesome. And it's pretty crazy that those things continue to be sold, especially when they tax the liver so much, when people could really just use something like turmeric to help with something similar. So let's look at the first benefit of turmeric that's scientifically documented is actually with relation to something known as platelet aggregation, which is blood clots. So turmeric has been shown in both human and animal studies that the curcumin is really, really good at reducing the platelet aggregation and reducing the risk of blood clots in people. So that's really cool. Again, a lot of this has to do with the anti-inflammatory nature of the compound itself. The inflammation, blood clotting is one symptom of chronic inflammation in people that's typical to manifest. So turmeric can be extremely helpful for that. Now, the second one up on the list is that turmeric can help with depression and the symptoms that are associated with depression. And the scientists think that this has to do with its connection with the curcumin interaction between the compound and this neurotransmitter through brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is called BDNF, which you see in the research. That's what they refer to it as. There was actually a study in the Journal of Phytotherapy Research that looked at 60 humans with major depressive disorder. So this is actually extremely common disorder especially in the U.S. right now. And the biggest drug for major depression that's being prescribed is called Prozac. And there's probably people watching this right now that are using Prozac, so hopefully this helps you to know against it. Basically, they put it head-to-head, Prozac or fluoxetine against curcumin. And they found that all the patients tolerated curcumin really well, and it was considered equally as effective as Prozac in managing depression by the time they got to the 6-week mark of the study with all these subjects. And this is 60 subjects. I mean, that's a lot of people. That's actually incredible. So if you're taking Prozac, you might want to look at something like curcumin for if you're looking for a natural thing. Because I know at one point many years ago I was on LEXAPRO, and it's similar to Prozac. And I remember the feeling where, and this was before they found my brain tumor. They thought I was depressed, but it was the brain tumor was causing it. That's how backward medical system is. so I was on this LEXAPRO, and I remember the feeling where I just felt like I wasn't myself. I felt like I was just floating through life, like I had no real emotions. Kind of just these antidepressants just kind of like turn off your emotion. You turn into the zombie. So I know how that feels, and you may want to consider a natural option. Here's another study that showed that there's 56 people basically that had the curcumin effectively reduce depression symptoms. And here's another study that showed 108 men, and it had the same effect where it reduced depression symptoms. So the next benefit is for inflammation. I alluded to this earlier, but this is probably the absolute best benefit of the curcumin just in general, is the inflammation fighting thing, because inflammation affects everyone, and when it becomes chronic, it starts to lead to autoimmune disorders. It starts to lead to a lot of issues that people tend to don't know that they have like a natural option to go fight that inflammation. So turmeric is an incredible anti-inflammatory in the human body. It's very, very well documented in a massive amount of research. Next up is that it's helpful for your skin. Basically anything that's an antioxidant or anti-inflammatory is going to help the health of your skin. But there was actually a study that had 814 participants that used turmeric paste, and they cured 97% of a skin condition called scabies within 3 to 15 days. I mean, that's crazy. And scabies, obviously, people go to try to take drugs for that as well. Then you could use a turmeric paste. The next benefit is that there was a head-to-head. A lot of people have done these head-to-heads with drugs versus turmeric. Turmeric always seems to win, and in this case, it was with an arthritis drug known as diclofenac sodium, or diclofenac, maybe I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable on that one. They put them head-to-head. They split it up. And basically what they saw was that all the scores of turmeric, curcumin, were significantly better than the people that were using the diclofenac sodium. And it was found to be safe, had no side effects at all. And they thought this was like quite a groundbreaking study for people with arthritis. And it is. I mean, it's really cool. So those are the major benefits of turmeric that you can expect. Obviously, it seems like everything just comes back down to the controlling of inflammation in the body, and the ability to shut down and reduce that cytokine response that can become chronic in people and lead to a lot of bad symptoms, bad side effects, especially later in life. And a lot of people don't know that there's natural ways to fight back against that inflammation, and that's why we put turmeric in our inflammation relief supplement with Truth Nutra. It is extremely well documented and extremely effective. So hopefully you learned something from this video that'll improve your life. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I'll see you on the next video. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because I've got so much more content coming out for you to teach you exactly the truth about health-related topics and what you can really do to empower your own life and your own health. So thanks for watching. Click on some other videos, watch some other stuff, and I'll see you around.